Hello, people. Welcome to my show. I just wanted to, speak about one of the best college I come across in a couple of days before. The name of the college is Edmonds College, which is based in Washington. I have, met their representative, and indeed, I've been to the website. The best thing is that we can certainly what you call go for an associate program and can save a lot of money, especially the Indian parents who had dreams of sending their children in US. For them, this is one of the best platform one can think of. So before I'll take my I introduce my guest today. I would like to show you the college campus. Please watch out for it, and then I'll have my guest today, Sherna. Thank you.
Hey there, my name is Elena and I'm a student here at Edmonds College in the Aerospace Engineering program. I'm here on campus in the vibrant city of Lynnwood, Washington, just a few miles north of Seattle. I'm going to take you on a little tour to show you why I think this is the perfect place to live, work, and play. Let's start with the newest addition to campus, the Hazel Miller Building. This Science and Tech building is home to new, state-of-the-art labs for programs like physics, math, engineering, and nursing. Classrooms and offices were designed around this central atrium to bring students together and to share resources across STEM programs. It also looks pretty cool. This building has active learning spaces too, like this one here, to help us gain the experience employers want. Edmonds is also home to greenhouses and a community farm, a theater, an event space, and a recording studio. So whatever your passion might be, you'll have a space to hone it here. And if you ever get hungry or need an afternoon energy boost, there's always something yummy on campus to keep you going.
And then Greg, we got 3 real touchdowns.
Thank you.
Of course.
Over 200 students live here on campus every year in apartment-style dorms. This one is called Trident Court. Let's take a look inside. Unlike many traditional dorms, these ones all have private rooms and bathrooms shared with just one other person. And if you're into cooking, you're in luck. All the units have full kitchens with everything you need to whip up a meal for you or your friends. Edmonds College also loves its sports, with 66 championship titles, so far. There's never a dull moment here on campus. Okay, so campus is pretty great, but what about the surrounding areas? Open-air ferry rides, peaceful mountain hikes, and vibrant city life are all only minutes away, and so are all the essentials. So whether your goal is to enter the workforce, transfer to a four-year university, or open a new chapter of your life, you can find your community here at Edmonds College. And if you're anything like me, you'll love the experience here on campus too. Hi guys!
Welcome to another episode of Ricky's Edutainment. Today, we have a special guest with us. She's all the way from Edmonds College, Washington. Welcome, Sherna. Sherna George. Her name is Sherna George. She is the only representative in India representing Edmonds College, which is based in, what the city you said?
Lynnwood.
Lynnwood, Washington.
Yes.
Washington is a beautiful place. I think a lot of students in India, especially the younger ones, they wanted to get into Washington. So today, Sherna is going to help us to know what would be the best way, how easily you can get into US and in a good college, which can certainly help you to be in the top-notch institutions in the United States. So let's start, Sherna. Can you just tell us about what Edmonds College is all about?
Right. So Edmonds College is basically like a public college. We're located in the state of Washington. We're very, very close to the city of Seattle.
Yeah.
And to be precise about the location, we're in a beautiful place called Linwood. So Linwood is basically in a friendly neighborhood area, and far away from the urban chaos. So children or students are definitely going to love it on the campus.
Okay.
Because I was there on the campus last year, and it was a very beautiful, amazing experience for me personally. Yes.
So tell me, how far Linwood is from Seattle?
Linwood is basically like half an hour away.
Okay.
Yeah, it's half an hour away from the main city of Seattle.
Okay.
And it's very, very close to the city of Edmonds. So Edmonds Port, we can call it.
Edmonds Port.
Edmonds.
So when you get into your college, and since you have traveled to Edmonds College, I think a couple of months ago, where is your plane landed in the United States? Is it in New York?
No. So students can definitely take a direct flight from Mumbai to SeaTac, which is Seattle Tacoma International Airport.
Okay.
So students can get down at Seattle Tacoma International Airport. There are two ways of getting to the college. Either they can go for a private cab or something, but then it turns out to be more expensive. But then if you ask me, my general advice or suggestion to students would be go for the airport pickup, which is arranged by the college itself. So, it's a foreign land, and there are higher chances that students can, they're not very
Familiar,
sure
yes,
or familiar with the place.
Correct.
So ideally, it's better if they go through the college pickup.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Another thing I wanted to ask you about the college. What are the programs you guys are catering at this point in time? And the students from different nationalities, correct?
Yes.
So if you just put a light on it.
Yes. So I'll start with the number of students and the kind of students that we have coming over to Edmonds College. So we have students coming over from 65 different countries.
Okay.
So to be specific, we have students, international students coming over from South Asia primarily,
Okay.
Africa, Morocco, and Australia, even for that matter. So these are like few continents from where we have our students coming in over.
Right.
And talking about the overall student ratio, we have somewhere close to 14,000 students, and out of which 10% of the students happen to be international. Rest of them, we have the resident students with us.
The local.
Yes,
local
the local
students.
ones.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Which are the popular programs in your college?
So since I mentioned that we are a public college, and Edmonds College is more or less very, very popular for offering academic programs like an associate degree. I'm not sure how many of us are familiar with the concept of associate degree programs, because associate degree program is basically a 2-year program with Edmonds College.
Okay.
So any student who wishes to come to US to pursue their undergraduate education,
Okay.
they can start with Edmonds College by enrolling for an associate degree program,
Okay.
and then it acts like a pathway
Okay.
to get into top state level universities.
Right.
Unlike in India, when they plan to apply to top state universities, sometimes the acceptance rate keeps changing, or it's not the same for every university.
Right.
So that's where colleges come into the picture. And here I would like to emphasize more about how Edmonds College would work in the interest of students. So you apply to Edmonds College, you can come to us for an associate degree program. After 2 years, you can take a transfer to any of the public state level universities.
Okay.
So just to name a top-notch few state-level universities, we have our international and resident students being transferred to universities like University of Washington. We have 3 campuses where our students have been transferred, so Seattle, Tacoma, and Perth Hill.
Okay.
Another popular university where we have had our students being transferred to is University of California. Again, multiple campuses over there. So Riverside, San Diego, Santa Cruz, Los Angeles, Berkeley, and it's a long list. I mean, we have close to 600 plus universities in the US where our students have been transferred.
Fantastic. Do you place students in Arizona State University?
Yes, we do.
I'm just asking you because people here are so crazy. The young ones I'm talking about, the one who are in 12th grade, everyone wanted to be in Arizona. I don't know. Of course, the university is a top notch. So let's talk about. So associate degree is basically after you complete your 12th grade, correct? Now, 12th grade, irrespective of whatever background you have. So, if you could be a science student or a commerce student, maybe an art student, right? Now, what is the minimum eligibility criteria in terms of percentage? How much do they need to score to get into Edmonds College?
Right. So, starting with the pre-entry requirements or prerequisites to Edmonds College, we believe in minimum documentation and minimum requirements. And I would like to emphasize more on this part because students have a fear in their mind that it's US, the stakes are high, and there would be like more percentage to apply to US.
Okay.
But then that's not the fact. There are certain myths, so I'm here to break the myths regarding that. You can definitely apply to Edmonds College holding your academic scores even on the minimal side. So to be precise, even if any student has 2.5 GPA,
Okay.
which is equivalent to 55% and above,
Okay.
they can definitely apply to Edmonds College. Besides the academic scores, we do require English proficiency test. So IELTS, PT, TOEFL, Duolingo, everything, all kinds of English language tests we do accept.
Correct.
And we just need their bank financials reflecting the I-20 amount
Correct.
and just the passport copy. So that's it. That's the minimum documentation.
That's the minimum documentation they require.
Yes.
All right. So, so one thing which comes to my mind right now, because what happened is since I've been dealing into this profession, especially in our locality, we get a lot of students who comes and they couldn't get into US because they don't have that much of percentage. So, of course, this is one of the best platform for them. Let's talk about the budget because that's a concern for many students, many parents in India.
Correct.
When they move to the United States for, say, the undergraduate degree, they may have to invest like $80,000 US, might as well $100,000 US, which is a big amount of money, right?
Correct.
And whether you be in the top-notch institution, it doesn't make any difference. You have to invest money. What is the cost for your associate degree in that sense? Of course, after second year, you will be placing in that respected university. And what are the chances for the students to get this scholarship if they go via Edmonds College?
Right.
Please go ahead.
Right. So, starting off with the fee structure, I forgot to mention about the application fee, which was a part of the entry requirements. So, we do have an application fee which is non-refundable, which is $50. And besides that, there is no I-20 deposit. Students are expected only to produce or reflect the show money of 2 years since they are coming to Edmonds College for 2 years associate degree program.
Okay.
So it would be close to, so the first year academic cost to the college would be around 23,000 USD.
Which is what, 20 lakh rupees?
Around 19 to 20 lakhs Indian rupees, yes.
That's for 1 year cost.
That's 1 year
Will
cost.
that include your accommodation?
Absolutely. So that's inclusive of tuition fees, living expenses, their books, insurance, everything included. So that's 23,000 USD inclusive of everything that they are looking forward in US.
Are you sure?
100%.
Because $23,000 is something, you know what, for the first 2 years, probably like in 40 lakhs if they're doing for first 2 years, they end up saving a lot of money. You know? Again, your destination is the top-notch institution, and because you do not have that score, I think this is the best medium.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to know the popular programs which you have not mentioned yet, as in computer science or something related to biotechnology. What are those programs, if you can just talk about?
Right. So, I already talked about associate degree program. So, under associate degree program, we offer majors more than 120 plus. So we have 120 plus majors that includes different areas of field study. For example, we have arts, literature, computer science, IT, engineering, and even architecture, law, journalism. You name the major, and we have most of the majors with us.
Okay.
And specifically, what I've observed, a pattern which is very common among Indian students very recently, is that they have developed more interest towards STEM programs. So while emphasizing on STEM programs, it could be more towards computer science, IT, robotics,
Okay.
artificial intelligence, most of these. Besides that, even actuarial sciences, and few of them also do show interest in going to US for business management programs as well. So yes.
Fantastic. Since you've been to this your university in Washington, how is the atmosphere like, especially on the campus? Because see, most of them are probably like teenagers.
Yes.
Yeah. So do they have an opportunity to do some kind of jobs over there? Because the mentality, I tell you the reality being most of them are would like to do some kind of a part-time job
Right.
or some assistantship if they get it from the college. So do the Edmonds offer these opportunities there?
Yes, so just to answer your question quickly, with regard to the age criteria, any student who is 16 years and above, they are more than welcome to apply to Edmonds College. So
Okay.
that's the basic minimum age requirement that we are looking for. Coming back to the on-campus job opportunities, yes, there are on-campus job opportunities on Edmonds College. So we have something called as Career Action Cell
Okay.
or Career Action Center. Now, this department encourages students to work on their resume, develop their resumes, put all their specific skill set on the resumes,
Correct.
and then they are in a position to apply to different categories of work opportunities that are available only on the campus.
Okay.
So there's an internal job job posting website which allows students to upload their resumes, and then accordingly they can select or cater to their job options which is available on the campus.
Okay.
Now, just a connecting point here. So Washington State is very, very popular for paying the highest wage per hour.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that would be approximately $16 per hour.
$16.
Yes, $16 per hour to be precise.
Okay. And on the campus, they possibly can work for 4 hours a day, something like that?
Yes, so while students are pursuing their program, they can work up to 20 hours per week. In times of vacation or a break between the quarter intakes, they can definitely work up to 40 hours per week, but just on the campus.
Just on the campus.
Just on the campus.
Perfect. And so are they in a campus, are they going to be staying together as in like they have a private accommodation kind of, or like how does it work?
So, international students, we do have certain facilities that are provided in the form of residence halls and homestay options. Firstly, I would like to talk about residence halls. We have 2 residence halls on our campuses. They are fully furnished apartments. So it could be like, fully furnished apartments in the sense that having a pantry, a drawing room, and individual bedroom units.
Okay.
So the 2 residence hall comprises of this specific structure.
Okay.
So international students, we encourage them to go for an on-campus stay accommodation, which is the residence hall. On the other hand, we have something called as homestay option. Now, I'm not very sure that how many of us are very familiar with the concept of homestay options.
Right.
But homestay options are basically like getting to live with a local US family.
Okay.
So these US families, they are completely vetted
Okay.
by the college department. So we have something called as housing department with us. They look into the vetting formalities and giving away or allotting the residence halls and homestay options for our students. Homestay, the best part, the beauty of homestay option is basically they come with 3 meals. So here students are expected not to prepare their meals on their own.
Okay.
It will be provided by the hosting family. So that's another advantage.
Ah.
On the other hand, if they are put up or they are staying in a residence hall, they are expected to be independent in all possible ways. So taking care of your laundry, doing the dishes, cooking for yourself. So they have to be completely independent on their own. Yes.
Perfect. So another challenge for the students who are what you call as when they go abroad for pursuing their education, especially when you are in your teenage, they've been struggling with one food.
Yes.
Okay, the Indian foods are not available everywhere. That is one problem.
Yes.
And the another one which I presumably I would say is weather. Weather is again a challenging aspect. I do send many ones in Canada, especially the Punjabi communities. You see, and then I got to know the temperature is in minus since
Yes.
we never been exposed to those kind of temperatures here in India.
Correct.
So if you just talk about weather and the quality of food,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So I can't talk about the rest of US, but since I've been to the campus last year, I did visit an Indian restaurant which is very, very close to the college campus. So Indian students will not be in a position to crave for Indian food because there are quite few Indian restaurants within the vicinity of the college campus.
Right.
And besides that, we also have few grocery outlets. There's Walmart, which is very, very close to the college campus. So definitely they can depend on Walmart for their groceries and everything. This is one thing. Secondly, coming back to the climatic conditions, I do understand that being in US, it would be people tend to paint up a picture in their mind, stating that it would be snowing and rough weather condition. But since we are on the Pacific Northwest side, the weather conditions are not that very rough.
Okay.
So, especially if I have to talk about the city of Seattle or Linwood specifically, it would be like not much snowy weather. We hardly experience snow, and yes, the nights could get a little bit of more colder.
Okay.
It kind of the nights get too cold, especially during winter season. But besides that, there is no heavy snowfall or something. Like sometimes of the year, especially like when I went to the college campus in the month of May, we do experience light showers or drizzling, we can call that. So that's there. But then it's not too much of extreme weather conditions. I can promise that or assure you of that. Definitely.
Fantastic. Now, one problem I been observing, and lately, especially in the last 2 years, there were many parents to whom we have consulted or we have counseled. They have what you call as in the problem with the safety and security concerns. You see, there is a gun culture which is not good for any country for that matter. So the students have that fear. Some of them, when I've spoken to them and I asked them since your profile is absolutely okay for the United States, they say no, we don't want to go to US because of these issues. So in that sense, since you have been to Washington, what's your thought on it?
So, to be very honest, when I visited the college campus, I could quite see that there are good safety and security measures. Now, there are multiple reasons for me to acknowledge that. Firstly, let me start with we have the security at Edmonds College. We do have friendly relations with Linwood Police.
Okay.
So that's the primary thing to look at. Secondly, continuous patrolling is being done at the campus on a regular basis. So whether it is on the college campus or with regard to the residence hall, which is very much closer to the campus. So
Right.
patrolling is done at every frequency. So it's done in every frequency, and besides that, one more trend which I noticed when I was on the college campus is vehicles. So students resident students or even international students who have their own vehicles or even staff vehicles for that matter, they Their cars are marked, the vehicles are marked with a sticker.
Okay.
Now that sticker denotes that this specific vehicle belongs to someone on the college. It could be a staff or a student or someone like that. So the security staff is assured that there is complete safety on the campus. So any vehicle which is spotted without any sticker, that's when it is brought into their notice.
Okay.
So that's one security measure which is followed.
Right.
Secondly, students always are handed with a security key to access their residence hall.
Okay.
So no trespassing is actually allowed on the college campus or towards the residence hall because it is completely security proof. So there is no chance that anybody can barge into the campus and create a havoc or something. And culture is something that we don't really promote over the campus. So,
Of course, yeah.
definitely.
Right. I've heard somewhere about your campus that you have something, some kind of a research which has been happening quite often.
What research?
As in like, not research exactly, but there are some beautiful sceneries, or might as well, you may experience, I don't know, I think somebody has told me about Edmonds College in the
Okay.
past, so that was, do you have something related to Boeing as well?
Yes.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So I'm actually beaming with joy that you've heard about Edmonds College. So yes, we do have a Boeing campus which is very close to our college campus. Again, Boeing campus is in the city of Seattle, and Seattle city is very, very popular again for IT known companies.
Right.
So a lot of Fortune IT companies we do have in Seattle, like Microsoft, Amazon, and Boeing. Boeing happens to be one of them, and the best part is we have our very own training and research center on the Boeing campus. So the ex-employees of Boeing are in a position to give the industry learning experience to our students.
Mm.
So students who are looking at aerospace, aeronautical engineering for that matter, you are in a privileged position to go and have that experience to work under the Boeing staff as well.
Wonderful. Okay, so let me ask you, the president of your college?
Yes, very interesting question and very interesting person to talk about. Yes, Edmonds College is led under the initiative of Dr. Amit B. Singh. He happens to be the 7th president of Edmonds College, and it gives me absolute pleasure to talk about him because he himself has his roots from India.
Okay.
So, Indian students will not be in a position to have that
Loneliness,
loneliness
right.
or
Correct.
like homesickness
Fantastic.
on the campus.
Right.
And trust me, he's that one person on the campus that you can look up to, you can walk up to, provided obviously on the basis of appointments.
Right.
But then he's a very warm person, and you can approach him to discuss anything and everything about on the campus, off the campus. So yes, he's a very good resource and a very good person to Indian students. So that brings like a lot of love and warmth on our campus after all.
Fabulous. So, see, I really like the way you are explaining things to us, because the clarity has to be there. I do know about certain colleges, but at 20 lakh rupees you can complete your 1 year. I'm still not able to digest it, honestly speaking. But this is one of the greatest option we can offer to our students. What I was just wondering, do we have some AVs which we can play for our community here in India?
Yeah.
Like your college AVs, or some messages from your presidents which we can possibly, I mean, honestly speaking, I think this kind of platform should be given to the Indian students.
Correct.
Talent is enormous, it's just that they do not have the right platform.
Right.
Another concern is pertaining to the funding issue. Okay, most of the parents, despite their kids are brilliant, they could not afford to send their children to the United States.
Absolutely.
This is one of the greatest platform, and I think this way we can possibly fulfill our own obligation towards the society as well, which I've always been, trying to do, help people with the scholarships and the right approach, the right, career aspect exactly where they should move on.
Right.
I just wanted to ask you about your overall experience since how long you have been working with Edmonds College, and what is that unique point which you felt that your college is different than most of the colleges and most of the universities.
Right. So, to begin with, let me start with the culture that is set on the campus. So, since it's a public college, it's a small campus. It's a 50-acre campus, and we have set up the culture that everyone knows you on the campus and everyone is aware about your existence on the campus. And to talk about the special part of the college, there are many, and it puts me in a dilemma to pick one specific thing and talk about, but definitely I would like to highlight about the concept of academic advising, which is very, very important.
Can you come again? What did you say? Academic?
Academic advising.
What exactly is all about?
So academic advising is basically, now let's say, Ricky, a student applies to Edmonds College with a major, maybe psychology,
Okay.
for example. Once a student lands on the campus and interaction leading to other students, and then sometimes students do feel that I had selected psychology as a major, but then I want to switch to some other major.
Okay.
So that dilemma is always there on the mind of the student. So what is the beauty about applying to a community college or maybe Edmonds College, for that matter of fact, is students are in a position to change their major even after landing on the campus.
Okay.
And for this part, they have to be talking to the academic advisors.
Okay.
So
Fantastic.
academic advisors are basically their best friends on the campus. I would like to tag it that way, because you have to be very, very transparent and communicative.
So it's kind of a personal mentor.
Yes, you can say that.
Okay.
So they need to be open and vocal about their major changes, the university transfer selection which they are aiming at, also their skill set in case if they are lacking in one or two skill areas, and if they want to work on those specific skill set,
Right.
talking to an academic advisor or going to them would make a big difference. Because that they would actually guide the students, and then that puts the students in a spot to journey throughout. So the next year, next step or something is something that they can plan for. So that's academic advising. Besides that, we have Central Washington University Satellite Center on our campus. So students who are aiming at business management programs, they can definitely stay back on our campus
Okay.
and continue with their business management programs at the Central Washington University Satellite Center. Because CWU campus is kind of little far away from Edmonds College campus.
Right.
So in case if students don't really want to switch their campus and wishes to stay back on Edmonds College campus, they can definitely do that, and their final degree would be awarded by CWU itself. So that's one thing.
Very nice. I think this kind of an opportunity other colleges and the universities are not given, because
Correct.
the moment you get your I-20 on a specific program and then your visa got approved, you move to the university, they may not allow you to change your program.
Correct.
And I think this is a great initiative, because what happens is there are a lot of students, they may not be sure about the areas of interest,
Yes.
They have been sometimes forcefully,
Correct.
put to that situation by the parent that you should do
Yes.
computer science, you should do information technology or artificial intelligence.
Right. And just to add to it, the beauty of having an academic advisor for a student is that there's no restriction or timeline that the students can meet the academic advisor once in a month. All they need to do is schedule an online appointment or an offline appointment with them, and you can end up meeting your academic advisor preferably every week. So that adds to a clarity. Students do not have to wait for a longer period of time to clear their doubts or address their concerns or something like that. So this is another standout feature that Edmonds College has to offer.
Correct. So I'll tell you what, sometimes because I've been into this business from the last 10 years, and sometimes people have that perception as an Indian mindset. I'm saying that how can be my son in the US at 60%, right? And so how many students do you recruit every year from India?
So we just came to India 2 years back,
Okay.
and the count of students is slightly progressing because not everybody in India is aware about the concept of college education.
Mhm.
But then if I have to give you the reference of the US student culture has always been in popularity with the students choosing college over a university.
Okay.
Now, why does that happen is basically college gives like a more secure and a warm atmosphere, and also the individual attention is being given.
Right.
Now, when I mean by individual attention, there is smaller class size ratio, which are practiced at
Right.
most of the colleges. Specifically, if I have to talk about Edmonds College, it is 20:1. That's the class size ratio, student faculty ratio.
Okay.
But however, in case of certain classes like engineering or something, it could go up to 30:1,
30.
but not more than that. Yes.
Correct. So now I would like to talk to you about one challenge. This is a major challenge what we have been facing from last couple of years now. The visa approval rate in the United States. Okay. So we have this perception. Honestly speaking, a lot of people, a lot of consultants, they always say that it's better you get into the top-notch institution because the visa success is 100%. Is it real? Because I, come from a background where we have always been taught that things are quite fairer to everybody. So, irrespective whether you are getting into Ivy League or you are getting into the public state or whether you're getting into the community colleges or the colleges, thus the visa officer has a different mindset in terms of approving those visas. What's your experience on it?
That's a very subjective question, and there is no specific myth that students who have applied to a college have more visa refusals or something like that. It all comes down to the student and the way they present their answers in front of US visa officers.
Right.
For example, if a student is being asked on the kind of major that they have applied for, they need to know everything about their major. And especially it needs to have a link with their existing or their 12th the previous academic curriculum that they have opted for. So it needs to be in sync with that. So the major has to define, that's the first thing. Secondly, you need to be fully aware about your college or your institution you have applied to.
Right.
So with that, the location, the kind of offerings that are offered by the college or the university for that matter, and especially some important highlighting features. For example, what's the size of the campus of the college, any specific facilities. In our case, we can talk about CWU Satellite Center, which is there on the campus. We can talk about Boeing and its on-campus job opportunities. These are like few insights, examples that I'm providing you with. In short, they need to know everything and anything about the kind of institution that I've applied to. Because visa officers basically look into all such facts. That how much the student is aware about.
Or is he prepared?
Absolutely. Financials don't really, it is not like a riding factor in case of US, but it's primarily focusing on the kind of knowledge and the information that the student comes from.
They're looking at quality of the students, basically.
Yes, absolutely. Irrespective of whether you have applied to a college or a university, that's a secondary thing. Now, when a student is applying to a college, a community college or Edmonds College, for example, what is their plan of action post 2 years at Edmonds College? because some visa officers, they do ask this question, like, what are you planning to do after completing 2 years at Edmonds College once you're done with your associate degree.
Correct.
So they need to be very, very sure about their future plan of action, like, which university they want to, what the major that they have opted for. So having that clarity on their future universities list, maybe like, having shortlisted like 5 to 10 universities. I'm not asking you to talk about all those 10 universities, but having that clarity on your mind that, I wish to take a transfer to these universities
Right.
because the major is listed there. I see that university as a future university, and Edmonds College have had the history of transferring the students to that specific university. So that's the depth of information that the student has to get it.
Right.
So when such things come together, I don't think so like, visa rejection could be a big thing to talk
Yes,
about.
yes, absolutely.
So having that information is very, very important.
Right. So associate degree is primarily for 2 years,
Yes,
and because these are the concepts which are not popular in India, and I have to be very honest with you.
correct.
Uh, do you also offer bachelor's degrees, Trevor?
Yes, so besides besides associate degree programs, we do have something called as Bachelor of Applied Science degrees.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you, this is our very own bachelor program, and the degree will be awarded by Edmonds College.
Okay.
So any student who is planning for computer science, artificial intelligence or robotics for that matter, this is your ideal program to look at. But then again, even if you are planning to come to Edmonds College for Bachelor of Applied Science degrees, they have to start with us through an associate degree program.
Okay.
Reason being, that builds the foundation, and then they can transition into their Bachelor of Applied Science program, or
Correct.
the second pathway option is taking a transfer to the universities.
I think this concept is very great because of the fact that what the colleges are doing, they're working on the baseline.
Yes,
They're working on every student. They're preparing them for the future.
correct.
Irrespective whether you are a brilliant student in India, coping up with those top-notch universities there in the US is extremely difficult.
Correct.
I think this is one platform which could be offered to the students. So let's talk about something pertaining to. So visa thing is pretty sorted because I completely agree with the fact that what you're saying is visa approval is purely based on various factors.
Yeah.
So blaming college or the university is not at all the right reasoning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
here I would like to highlight one important fact. Most of the students, when I have had my interaction with few students and parents, they do ask me a similar question, like, what is the ranking of your college? What's the ranking of your university? I would urge you to ask the right question rather than asking or emphasizing more about the ranking part.
Correct.
It's very, very important for you to research and understand the importance of accreditation.
Correct.
So for Edmonds College, we are accredited by Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities.
Okay.
So just to give you an overview, this is Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities is like a regional accrediting body.
Right.
So they actually look into the accreditation part of the education institutions, especially in United States, and Washington State happens to be one of them. So if you can go up, Google up what exactly is the accreditation of your specific college or university, that plays a very, very pivotal role rather than focusing on rankings, because rankings keep changing every year, but not the accreditation part.
Fantastic. How many intakes do you offer in a year?
So usually it's when it comes to US, it's 2 major intakes.
Yes.
But then if I am talking about Edmonds College, we function on the basis of quarter intake system, since we are in the state of Washington.
Okay.
So that's we have 4 quarter intake system throughout the year. That's spring intake, fall intake, summer intake, and winter intake. So students don't really have to wait for 6 months more to apply for the next upcoming intake. So it's basically like quarterly intake, so the duration would be somewhere between 8 to 12 weeks. So, yeah.
And I'm extremely happy to know about your president. The Indians are rocking everywhere.
Everywhere,
So it's
everywhere,
like,
trust
it's really
me.
good to see somebody as an Indian origin leading the college there in the United States. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks for your valuable time. I am extremely happy to get this college, honestly speaking, because I tell you that I have come across many students to whom, because of the lack of funds, we cannot promote United States. I think this could be the benchmark of this college, of course. And then I would, in our community also, we would try to promote your college. This is a wonderful opportunity. On top of it, I would thanks for your valuable participation for this program. So, guys, we have Sherna from Edmonds College, as she has given us a lot of information about the college. And yes, we are also going to play the message from the president, Dr. Amit B. Singh. Thanks. Have a great time, everybody.
Hello and namaste. I am Dr. Amit Singh, President of Edmonds College. I would like to welcome you to our beautiful campus. At Edmonds College, the opportunities are endless. We are an affordable public college situated 30 minutes north of one of the most educated cities in the world, Seattle, Washington. We are located next to the headquarters of many Fortune 500 companies, including Microsoft, Amazon, Starbucks, and many others. Our campus is also a great place to call home. We have 2 on-campus modern residence halls and are located in a safe community where shops, restaurants, and much more are within walking distance. At Edmonds College, there's a field of study for everyone. We offer 30 programs and more than 120 degrees and certificates, from short-term technical certificates to baccalaureate degree. We pride ourselves on having an inclusive and diverse campus. Our international students are a welcome addition to our community. I want to share my own story with you. My brother came before me. This was in 1980s. My parents came to visit him. They went back and shared with me what they saw in this country. And they said, sky is the limit. In this country, if you work hard, if you are focused, you can achieve anything you want. So I knew I had to come to US, and I did, and the rest is history. I strongly believe that anything is possible if you work hard, you're focused on your goal, and you have the dedication. Attending Edmonds College can open a world of opportunities for you. I encourage you to visit our website and find out how we can change your life and prepare you for the future of your dreams. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you on our campus.